What is going on, crypto family? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on this video, guys, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, where it's currently at, and what does it actually mean to you as a SHIBARMY member, whether if you hold Bone, Leash, Treat, if you hold Roaring Kitty, or any token that's in your portfolio. Where are we currently at, and what can you expect in these next coming months, guys? Now, barring any macroeconomics that would derail this. Things right now are looking extremely bullish for Bitcoin, especially where it's at on the chart. Now, before I dive too deeply into it, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts about today's video. So, as it currently stands right now, guys, Bitcoin is approaching its all-time high. So if we change this up to a line chart, the line chart is suggesting that we actually are hitting our all-time high based upon the line chart. So with that being said, we could start to see that straight up action, the straight up parabolic action, which will usher in green candles for a lot of different projects. I'm talking about the green candles that we saw back in 2020, 2021, straight up vertical. Same thing back in 2018, straight up vertical. And I even warned you guys like where we're at currently in the market, because a lot of people were like, the market changed, the market changed. Like, no, the market did not change. People are just only got into crypto back in 2020, 2021, and they only saw one cycle, and they expect that this cycle was going to play out the same way. So I was probably the only one that made a video that said, hey, the cycle is more like 2013 based upon what I was seeing on the chart. He had this nice parabolic move just, after the breakout of the previous cycle's all-time highs. It followed up by like 6-7 months of straight consolidation before we saw this big green candle that just happened week after week. So that's the same thing that we've just seen. We had that initial breakout passing previous cycles all-time highs, then followed by what, 6 months, we could say roughly around 6 months of consolidation, and now we're about to test this all-time high again to break it, to see straight green candles. So this is where we're currently at, and I'm going to break it down what it's going to mean to Bone, Sheeb, Leash, Roaring Kitty, or any other asset that you currently own. Now before I do that, just want to let you guys know, currently right now, Crypto Tweets is having a competition, and the only thing that you have to do, guys, you just have to create an account. You could use your email, Gmail account, create the account, find Roaring Kitty, and just add it to the watch list. So between now and the end of the week, that's the competition. The best part about this, guys, it is gonna give the winner $10,000 worth of ad credit. Now, with the ad credit, that could get about 2 million impression. And the reason why, if you're a SHIBARMY member, Bone, Leash, Sheeb, why you should care about this is due to the fact that Roaring Kitty is a Shibarium token. It is on Shibarium, so this is gonna put spotlight onto Shibarium, guys. It's gonna put spotlight onto Sheeb. As you guys know, more people that comes onto Shibarium, the better it's gonna be for burns. Whether if you are a Sheeb holder, because that means more transaction, more burns. If you're a Bone holder, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna automatically cause people to buy more Bone. If you're a Leash holder, Leash moves with Sheeb as well as Bone. Like, these are all things that's gonna impact the overall ecosystem, guys. And this is why it's very, very important that we all come together, if you are part of the SHIBARMY, to do what's need to be done for Shibarium to essentially help your back. Because the way that Shiba Inu got to the place that it was based upon collective effort, guys. The SHIBARMY, the different members, rating, shilling. We have not been seeing much of that. I'm not saying not all, but majority of the people have not been doing that. That's a part of the SHIBARMY, and there's a big disconnect, and we just need to do what we need to do for the SHIBARMY to see us back on top again, as far as like the token that everybody's talking about. So again, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. Go ahead and just go here, click the watch, so that we get this number up, and that way we could essentially win this competition. Since Roaring Kitty is a Shibarium token, guess what? It is going to help visibility on Shiba up to two. They stated about like 2 million impressions. So back to the story. Now, one thing about Bitcoin, when it comes to like even it is very hard trying to predict the top of where Bitcoin is gonna land at, due to the fact that there are so much bullish news. I'm talking about on the macro side for Bitcoin that a lot of people are not talking about. I'm not sure if you guys watch Michael Saylor's pretty much pitch for strategy, and how strategy has become one of the top assets in the stock market. And he is putting this, because of Bitcoin. And one of the on his pitch, and this is what I thought was very, very powerful. He stated that, the companies that are beating the S&P 500 or beating, the average return in the stock market are typically Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Meta, Nvidia. And he said outside of that, all the different companies are not beating the average return. And he made it, he outlined it perfectly. And he talked about how strategy was able to do that by buying Bitcoin. And he gave all the selling points. And I think based upon how strong of a speech that he gave, how strong of a pitch that he gave, we should be able to see a lot more companies within the stock market start adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. And if they do, this is going to just cause, again, price discovery after price discovery after price discovery. We have CZ Binance, 500 to $1 million Bitcoin during this cycle. Like, these are huge prediction, as well as just a macro. Then Trump was able to secure $1 trillion, or over $1 trillion worth of investments in the United States. And since we are a pro crypto country now, based upon his presidency, some of those funds are going to roll over into Bitcoin, especially for the reserves as well too, guys. So things are extremely bullish. And if you're still crying about your bag, you are missing what's happening right now in the overall world. So Shiba Inu, we all know this, at least you should know this. Shiba Inu will run if Bitcoin runs. So we're seeing all this price discovery. Bitcoin starts to run, Ethereum start to run, Shiba Inu is going to run. And guess who else is going to run after it? Bone. Bone is going to also run after it. Leash is going to also run after it. And if your project is on Shibarium, it's going to also run after Bone as well too. So many, many bullish stuff is happening in the background. And like I stated before, a lot of the SHIBARMY that is currently present right now, they're the ones who gotten in after this big run up, and they're not used to how Shiba Inu really got to the #1 spot. Like the people who were getting into SHIB right here, we understood rating, shilling, talking about the ecosystem. That's the same thing that the people who gotten over here really felt to do. Now, I'm not saying all, but majority of the people who gotten back over here didn't even know that the Shibarium was a part of Ryoshi's vision. Bone, they didn't even know Bone was a part of it. They didn't know Leash was a part of it. They just thought it was just SHIB by itself. So, and really, again, to me, that is where a lot of disconnect come from, is being the fact that a lot of the people who got into SHIB didn't really understand what they were getting themselves into. And because of that, they are so bitter, Satoshi scammer, all this and that, whatever, however you want to label them. Again, if you are a true believer of the SHIBARMY as far as like with the mission, then you're going to be able to do what's need to be done. And that's the raise, that's the shield, to being able to get Bone, Leash on all these different exchanges, as well as getting more adoption coming onto Shibarium. So imagine if the 1.5 million SHIBARMY decide, you know what, let's go ahead and just start supporting my bag of SHIB by just going onto Shibarium. Then that would just be a big impact on Shibarium usage, TVL, as well as generating the buzz, throughout socials and different news outlets. But really, guys, that is all that I have for you today. Again, Bitcoin starts to ramp up. is gonna ramp up Shiba Inu. Is gonna also ramp up Bone. Roaring Kitty's gonna also follow as well too, because we know the community knows itself. The way that Roaring Kitty's gonna keep going up higher is based upon the community effort. When the community does, so shall Roaring Kitty do as well too. And don't forget, guys, to go ahead and just click over here and hit the watch. But that is all that I have for you today. Random Arts guys signing off. Peace.